All right, guys, what's going on? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video. And I didn't really expect to really make a video so soon. And according to my last video, I'm sure you guys didn't either. But yeah, something just kind of hit me like a bag of bricks. And when you have a little bit more time to yourself, right now, especially with my specific situation, to where I'm not working nearly as much as I would 7 to 8 months out of the year, you got a lot more time to think, and it also gives you a lot more perspectives. That and an influence from a video that I kind of saw. It wasn't really a direct influence to me. It was just kind of like a podcast I was listening to. So the combination of both of those two things inspired me to make this video, as well as a few of the other things that I'm going to get into, and I'll get into that in just a second. But all I got to say is I apologize for the lack of gameplay volume or sound for this. I plugged everything back in after everything's been unplugged for the longest time. And like a dumbass, I actually forgot to plug in my chat link cable, so I couldn't really record any game sound from the Xbox Series X, which is what this game plays on. But the settings have been reduced, so that way I can record this video. So I can tell you from a first-hand standpoint now, I don't know if it's with the different HDMIs or whatever the hell it is, but if anybody's going to be playing Halo Infinite or any game that's optimized or specifically created for new consoles and or PC, if you're playing on past-gen hardware, I definitely empathize 100%. Even the controls feel different. Like right now I'm playing against Marine bots in this Halo Infinite beta or whatnot, and even the way the game feels in terms of like the responsiveness and the amount of control you have, huge difference compared to 120 hertz and with the optimization settings that's supposed to be had. Now, granted, this is kind of like an alpha beta build of the game or whatnot, but that has a fair share of problems. But with that being said, I felt the difference right away. I was like, what the hell? So it was literally like a completely different story. Everything was more delayed and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, on to the nitty gritty of this video. So for those of you guys that are watching, first of all, I would like to say thank you for watching. And one thing that I want to say right off the get-go is that, you know, you have two ways of looking at things in life, right? You got the positive side and you got the negative side. And both sides are correct because there's always two perspectives to literally everything. I think there was a saying that somebody said, you know, one person can think of this and they can also think of that, and both of those people are right. So it really just is a matter of perspective. So upon listening to this podcast while I was recording this, or should I say before recording this, that you're seeing here, I was basically doing the same thing. I was just kind of listening to the podcast and just kind of playing, and that's it. No recording, nothing whatsoever. So between the podcast itself, as well as the fact that when you have a lot of time, you get all this extra time to think. And I'm like, I've been thinking of this a little bit too negatively. Like, for instance, let me give you a prime example, right? In my previous video, I got a pretty good amount of likes, and I also got a good amount of dislikes. Now, from a negative standpoint, those dislikes could either mean this, like, Jack, you suck, your videos suck. I mean, of course, there's always going to be a portion of those kind of people that absolutely don't like your shit. But I don't think most people force themselves to watch videos. I mean, they force themselves to play COD to a certain extent, but videos, I don't think that's a thing. I think a lot of people would watch a certain video because they enjoy that kind of video or they're curious about it or whatnot. And of course, some people also fall into the trap of clickbait. Clickbait is a big thing here on YouTube, and so is trending. I mean, there's a lot of things that go on, and you can do a lot of tricks to kind of take advantage of the algorithm to play in your favor. But one of those things is definitely consistency, because once you get to a point to where the algorithm starts to favor you more, don't stop. This is one of the reasons why content creators, especially the successful content creators, and the thing that separates content creators from the non-successful, is because of the consistency. And if you stop at any point in time, especially when the algorithm is in your favor, guess what? It will take you not only a long time to recover, but you're going to be screwed for a while. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. But the thing is this: when you look at things, you can look at it from a positive standpoint or a negative standpoint. So the negative standpoint is, Jack, you got all these dislikes because your videos and your content suck. You suck. You know, all that kind of stuff, right? And then there's the other side of the fence. Is like, maybe people are also disliking the videos also because they don't want to see a content creator quit. They don't want to see a content creator quit, or they see things, they have a slightly point of view on that content creator. Like, for instance, a content creator might think of themselves in a negative way, like, my stuff's not up to par, I don't have the best equipment, maybe my gameplay's not good enough, maybe I just don't have it anymore, maybe I don't suck, maybe I'm not as good of a commentator as I thought I was, yada, yada, yada. The list goes on and on. When it comes to the negativity, I mean, why do you think news, why do you think the news, for instance, has a never ending cycle of things to talk about? Because negativity is something that unfortunately, when it comes to the news, it profits. A lot of people, like, for some reason, just, I don't know what it is. They just can't help but watch negativity, right? So anyway, going on to the next thing, but there's also the positive side. Like I said, basically, it's like maybe I've been viewing this from too much of a negative standpoint, and that is that, well, maybe my content creation, maybe my content quality as a creator is better than what I think it is. Maybe some of these people that give me compliments are actually being sincere, and they're not just, trying to encourage me falsely. Maybe they're sincere in what they're saying. Maybe my commentating skills are better than what I think they are. Maybe this, maybe that. Maybe I've got more potential than I think I do. Maybe there's something here, even though I may not see it. And especially when you get a few people that have been watching you for a very long time, a handful of people that haven't been watching you for a very long time, there's some truth to that, right? I mean, hell, even Al Pacino in Scarface said it best. I always tell the truth, even when I lie. I know my Scarface accent was absolutely terrible. But when you look at it, at the end of the day, there's two ways to look upon things. You can either look at them in a positive standpoint or a negative standpoint. So I'm like, well, I have been a person that, for the longest time, I look at things from many points of view. And because of the things, of course, that happen to us in life have an impact. I mean, the amount of impact that they have kind of solely depends on the thing that happened as well as our responses to it. So we have a choice to a certain extent in terms of what happens. Now, granted, we can never control anything. We can never control everything. But one of the things that we can, to a certain degree, control is how we think. As a matter of fact, we can actually control that very well. So the thing is that you can either think of things from a positive standpoint or a negative standpoint. Oh, in terms of Call of Duty, there's something else I wanted to make very clear in terms of what I said in the last video. I mentioned in my last video that I don't want to cover COD anymore. The biggest reason why I don't want to cover COD anymore is simply because of what it's turned into and the amount of negativity that's basically surrounding the game. But again, like I said, there's a whole bunch of positivity to that as well. Now, here's the positivity standpoint. Check this out. I'm gonna give you Twitch as an example. I became a partner on Twitch when I was actually grinding an older Call of Duty. It was out for at least 2 years at the time, 2 years past its life cycle, and it was Infinite Warfare. And let me tell you something about Infinite Warfare. Infinite Warfare, consistently streaming Infinite Warfare, for instance, actually got me to affiliate on Twitch. And I was getting an average of anywhere between 3 to 10 followers per shift. Now, specifically the big stream. Specifically the longer streams where I would go for a while. And I was consistently playing that game until I got stream sniped left and right, because I was the #1 viewed channel on such an old game that hardly anybody ever played or watched. And for a small guy like me, that's actually really good. And then I was getting stream sniped up the wazoo. People were double teaming me, triple teaming me, and stuff like that. Some people were even cheating when they were playing and stuff like that. So I've had a little bit of everything. And then, of course, there was trolls. They were trolling me, making up accounts that looked like me, that had a screenshot of me, and basically were trolling me and stuff like that, saying, hey, do this and I'll donate or something like that, like some really scary shit. So the thing is, like, the funny thing is with all this, you see a lot of big YouTubers going through this shit, and it's like, I'm a small fry and I'm went through this like years ago. Even on Twitter, there's like 1 or 2 people or whatnot that have impersonation accounts of me. It's really annoying, but it's kind of funny and yet scary at the same time. It's like, you got to be kind of like weird, or to a certain extent psychotic, to kind of do that. But whatever. I mean, some people think it's funny. I mean, I'm sure all the big YouTubers have an account of that nature or whatnot. But anyway, the thing is this: everything has a positive standpoint and a negative standpoint. And for the longest time, of course, because again, so much negativity is around Call of Duty and stuff like that. I mean, again, it makes sense to not want to cover that game when there's so much negativity around it. However, as far as Call of Duty is concerned, I want to make another thing very clear. Whenever a new Call of Duty comes out, I always have high hopes. I always want to play it. It was easy, and yet at the same time sort of difficult to ignore the beta. This is the first Call of Duty beta in Vanguard that I did not play, that I absolutely positively did not touch. Granted, I watched other people play it. I've watched other streams of it. I've been keeping up with what's been going on. So, and I've been playing COD over the last 12 years, and over the last 10 years more religiously, and obviously the last 6.5 years of this channel have been dedicated to COD. Again, very hard to walk away from when you're used to doing something for so long that has yielded you, for the most part, positive results, and the most negative results are partially self-inflicted, and then the other negative results just come from the negativity that comes with being on this platform. It's not really something that you can avoid, but it is something that you can ignore. So for those other content creators out there that have been doing this for less time than I have, you know, I'm pretty sure we can all agree, and even for those of you guys that are completely new to the platform that are doing this, remember, you always have the choice to either ignore or to not to ignore. Now, for me, and with my personality, I will admit it's hard to ignore because this is just the kind of person I am. Like, for instance, if you're going to call me out in real life, and if you want to troll me in real life, I will confront you, you know, because I've got the balls to do it, and I also have the self-confidence to even get physical, to be honest. You know, I mean, so that's just the way it's just the way I am. It's part of my personality. Everybody's got different personalities and stuff like that. So love me or hate me, it's me, and I will continue to be me, whether you like me or not. And the thing is that with this knowledge that I have of myself, as well as all these years on YouTube, it just makes all the sense in the world to not really just cave in to the negativity and just walk away so easily after you've been doing it for so long. It's something that it's a continuous battle. I could tell you that, because there's been plenty of times where I went in one direction and then I went in another direction. And that's basically myself and my mind fighting within itself in order to kind of see a solution, because I'm one of those people that, like, I grew up, of course, you know, very weak and bullied and stuff like that when I was a kid and all that kind of stuff. And I was able to overcome all those things. And then through life changes as well, it teaches you things. It teaches you how to grow tough skin and how to be tough in real life. And let me tell you guys, internet and real life, although the internet is kind of to a certain extent a mimication of real life, it's nowhere near close. You got to be even tougher in real life to basically survive. I mean, most people that are on this platform that are here just to troll and that are just keyboard warriors or whatever the hell you want to call them, or whatever you want to call these people, they don't have the balls to speak their mind in real life. And those are the kind of people that you just use the block button on. You block them, you avoid them, you don't listen to what they say, because they will say or do anything to stop you for whatever reason. And for those kind of people, you also, to a certain extent, want to feel sorry for, because quite frankly, if they have nothing better to do in life than to do that, then it's something that it's like, wow, it's like, to a certain degree, when you think about it, it's like, man, I kind of want to help this person so that way they can have like a better outview in life, and therefore their life doesn't have to be so toxic or whatnot. So, because that's the way it is, man. And they'll tell you forever, they're like, oh, I got the best life in the world, I got the best job in the world, I do this, I do that. It's like, no, you don't. That's, a lot of these people are living inside a fake world, and it's just not the way real life is, and a lot of people just live to bring other people down. So remember, if you are a victim, if you're on the other side of this and people are trying to bring you down, remember, you always have a choice whether to listen or not. And of course, these platforms that we're on have the block button. They've got the hide user from channel button, stuff like that. Keep blocking them, even if they keep on making accounts that continue to annoy you or whatnot. Keep blocking them, ignore them or whatnot until they have another victim that they can basically prey upon that is not going to take this advice and not listen, stuff like that. So just remember, you always have a choice. And that's the beauty of it. You basically take your life in your own hands, and you make the right choice for yourself, whatever that choice is. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's YouTube, whether it's something else completely life related. You just make a choice, and you make the one that you think is best for you. And you're going to make mistakes along the way, and that's quite okay. I mean, from a YouTube standpoint, from a content creation standpoint, I've just admitted a few, and of course I have also gone through a few, and I'm sure a lot of you, especially those of you guys that have been here forever, have pretty much seen it. You've seen a lot of what's going on here on the channel. But one of the things that I will say is that no matter what, whether I make a mistake or not a mistake, or no matter what some people will think of it or whatnot, one thing I will say is that I will continue to be me. I'm always going to keep it real, and that is kind of my curse when it comes to this platform, because this platform, I will say it up front right now, really loves to block the truth. So if you ever speak the truth too much, guess what happens? they will block the shit out of you. This platform will literally block your ass nonstop. And it's going to be a lot harder for your content to get through. Some people even get shadow banned or whatnot. So I'm sure you know of some of these people. And I'm sure some of these people might even be watching this video. And they are still coming back and trying to make things better and fight against it and basically represent that, hey, no matter how many times you hit me, I'm just going to keep getting back up and I'm just going to keep on doing this until I succeed, because the fact remains that success is built off of failure. You got to fail time and time and time and time and time again, and then all those failures will end up being a success sooner or later. You're going to stumble upon something. You're putting yourself out there, which only increases your odds of succeeding sooner or later, even if it's just luck, because we all have to have some element of luck in life or whatnot. But you doing your part increases your chances of making something good happen for you. So you can either choose to walk away and go in a different direction if that's best for you, or you can choose to keep on grinding or whatnot. But at the same time, you got to realize there's got to be a balance. You don't want to drive yourself crazy grinding, because that is something that I myself over the last 6 years, especially the last 2 or 3, have had a tremendous amount of time of struggling with it. So, and of course, your viewers, the ones that truly care about you, will always back you up. They'll always have something to say in the comment section or whatnot, and or on Twitter. You got to look at it from both sides. So you always have a choice. So anyway, that's all I pretty much got for this one, guys. I just kind of wanted to, unload everything that was on my mind and kind of give you guys another update. Now, as far as Call of Duty is concerned, again, I could always I could grind the older ones and make it to max prestige, unlock everything. I mean, I could still do a shit ton of Infinite Warfare. I'm sorry, not Infinite Warfare. Modern Warfare Remastered, and unlock the weapons and grind that game and learn that game, because I didn't spend too much time playing it. Gotten some good gameplays with it if you go back on my channel, but other than that, there's also the fact that I've also played that game, but just didn't grind it enough. I mean, I could always do that. And in terms of Vanguard, my God, I've seen it all. The only one thing that has me interested in Vanguard right now is free for all in the combat pacing mode, to where you can have even more players on the map. I personally have always wanted free for all to have more than 8 players. I've always wanted that. So, especially with the way they're building maps now. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Again, always have high hopes when it comes to Call of Duty, and I did not play this beta. And even though I have an Xbox Series X, I am just as tempted as well as not tempted to not pick up the game, because I've seen everything else. And plus, we got Battlefield 2042, we got Halo, we got all these other games. One person in my last video even said that they would like this to be a Let's Play channel. It may or may not evolve into that. Again, like I said, it's been a constant struggle back and forth. So, I mean, you guys are more than welcome to speak your mind, as always. But let me know what you guys think. It's very easy for me to stream consistently now, especially during this time when I'm not working as much, for 4 months or something like that, to where, I could stream an older Call of Duty for a while, and play different games in the mix, and do that, and just use older Call of Duty gameplays for commentaries, or do something completely different with commentaries, or just make different videos. But and since you only live once, I mean, nobody knows how much time they have, right? And this is very important as well, and it has a lot to do with what I'm saying. And thank you for those of you that have stuck around. But one other thing I wanted to say is that you don't know. None of us here know when we expire. That's just the way it is. All we know for sure is that, we all exit, right? So basically the thing is, I'm really tempted to just drop money and get that streaming PC that would also make my content cleaner and better on here, as well as the streams and gameplay while streaming as well. And, get the camera and stuff like that. Spend $3,000-$4,000 and get that done, because you never know. In a year from now, you might not even be around. I mean, that's just the thing it is. I mean, I recently lost somebody that was a big influence in my life, especially over the last, 5 to 10 months. So it kind of wakes you up. It really does wake you up. Life, especially as you get older, life just tends to just smack you around even more. But thankfully, your age and your wisdom that comes with age basically tells you to keep going, and you just can't give up. Simple as that. And sometimes you hear your relatives that are no longer with you kind of speaking to you more than you ever have when they were around. So, but anyway, guys, that's all I got for this one. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of just everything. I know this is a lot to take in. I know this is a lot of divulging and stuff like that, but it's me, 100% real, uncut commentary here. Some gameplay in the background that that you may or may not cringe to, but please let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you for all you guys that have continued to stick around. Some of you have been here longer than others. I really appreciate you guys. For those of you guys that have the nice things to say in the comment section and or on Twitter, I appreciate the encouragement, and let it all be known down below if you would do so. And that's all I got for this one, guys, and I will catch you guys on the next one.